Hello and welcome to another edition of our Word Concerning Prayer. Thank you so much for joining us today. The Apostle Paul penned a rather complex yet reassuring incentive to prayer in Romans chapter 8, verses 26 and 27. He says, "Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought. But the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. And he searches our hearts and knows what is the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for the saints according to the will of God." The profound work of the Holy Spirit in relation to our prayers is rather evident in this text. Just as the Spirit enables us to cry, "Abba, Father," and affirms that we are children and heirs of God, the Spirit likewise helps us in the weakness of our prayers. In like manner to the Spirit instilling in us a transcendent hope for the future, all the while we are groaning in the weakness of our present decaying world, the Spirit likewise buttresses our weak prayers. The same Holy Spirit who assures us of our sonship instead of slavery, who guarantees our inheritance and future glory, and who gives us hope in the midst of frustration, likewise supernaturally empowers our prayers. The prayer-empowering work of the Holy Spirit is necessary because we do not know what to pray for as we ought, Paul says in verse 26 of Romans 8. The limitations of being finite creatures living in a cosmos subjected to futility, yet graced with an eschatological hope, renders us unable to fully grasp what is appropriate when it comes to our prayers. The majestic scope of God's redemptive purpose is set against the backdrop of sin and brokenness and futility. Indeed, Paul prostrates himself upon this tension when he cries out, "Oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are his judgments and how inscrutable his ways." Romans chapter 11, verse 33. We can no more comprehend the whole mind and providences and purposes of God than an insect can comprehend the Encyclopedia Britannica. The extent, complexity, and grandeur of the divine purpose infinitely exceeds our capacity for comprehension. Part of the frustration of living in a cosmos subjected to futility, therefore, is that even the prayers of Christians are woefully weak and uninformed. How then shall our prayers be made effectual? Join us next week as we answer this question from Paul's writings in Romans chapter 8. Thank you.